Hey guys, Tightrope here, and with Guastatori getting a couple buffs in the most recent patch, a decrease in their reinforce cost, and an improvement to their moving SMG performance, I figured it's a good time to do a couple build orders focused on them. So yeah, obviously you'll need to select the Italian Infantry battle group, and in terms of battle group options, go for Guastatori, then defensive operations, just because it's cheaper than the booby traps. I feel like the booby traps just not really worth it these days after all the nerfs, and this does give you the option of planting the heavy Stalemate, which can be pretty decent against vehicles. And then typically I was going for the Cannone third, but you don't really need it. It's a bit of a meme unit, honestly, but it's kind of fun to try it out. But you can go down the other side of the tree at this stage. Designate defensive line, of course. This can, increase the rate of fire on your 88 flaks. So if you do decide to go for that, maybe if you're trying to counter like Matildas, something like that, the rate of fire buff from this can be very impactful in those situations. And it's also cheaper. The L6s are mega trash at the moment. Do not get them. Registered artillery, I think I favor this over propaganda war. But personal preference, it's also a little bit cheaper. And then down the final stage, kind of comes down to munitions. Like I typically didn't have enough for the Obice barrage. That's kind of planting mines. You have to upgrade a lot of things on your Guastatori and whatnot. So I didn't really get much of a chance to use this. So you might want to just go for like the cheap, safe option, the prepared positions, just buffing up your team weapons a bit. Now, when it comes to what units you're building, first off, I have a talk about the Krudschützen. In my opinion, at the moment, I don't think it's really worth going for this. The 4x4 for US forces, very popular at the moment. It got buffed in the most recent patch. Hunts this down with ease and kills it. On top of that, if it's not that, maybe it's the Weasel or the Dingo. So I feel like the risk reward is just not there for the Krudschützen, at least my skill level and for this build order in 1v1. So yeah, I typically avoid the Krud at the moment in the current meta. So when it comes to build orders, typically I'll be starting out with the Panzer Pioneers. And then after that, I'll get the Panzer Grenadiers. I was going for the Panzer Grenadiers second, just to get a bit more firepower in the early game. I found us a bit lacking if I tried to go for just, double Panzer Pioneers on top of the Panzer Pioneer that you have at the start. 3 Panzer Pioneers, it was just too weak at the start, so I was going for the Panzer Grenadiers. And I do plan to go for the Tech down here, which will give them 6-man eventually. So they do have a bit of firepower later on. And then from here, against US forces, I typically go for the 250. And then get a flamethrower on one of these Panzer Pioneers, put it inside, and then obviously use this to harass and strengthen up your early game, give yourself the combined arms bonus and whatnot. Up against Brits, I typically was not going for the 250 just because the Dingo is so good against this at the moment. So I was typically just stalling from here. So I was going for light company, and you'll do this against US forces next as well. So once light company is complete, go for an MG34. So after you get your MG34 out, you've got a few options. You could go for healing if you've got quite a lot of low health squads. That's a fine option. But do remember, you have medics available on your 250s, which can help you in a bit of a pinch. You're probably going to want the Panzerjäger calling group at some stage to counter the opponent light vehicles. I'm trying to get this typically as soon as possible if you're up against one of those like lighter scout cars like the 4x4 or the Dingo. And then after that, it's probably time for the Guastatori. They're quite expensive, 400 manpower each. I was trying to get 2 squads of them out. After you've got your 2 Guastatori out, you'll want fire support elements. So after you've got fire support elements, you may need to go for a Pack 38 if you're up against like a double light vehicle strategy. For instance, British forces at the moment, pretty popular for them to go double Stuarts into Crusaders. No tech corn spam. So if you're up against double Stuarts, even if you've got the Panzerjäger, just go for an AT gun as well. You need the extra support. On top of that, you've got a lot of squads with engineers here that can plant mines. So you may want to delay the flamethrower on your second squad of Guastatori, or if you're up against like that light vehicle spam kind of pressure, you may actually want to just forget about the second squad of Guastatori, going for a faster fire support elements into the AT gun to bolster up your forces. And then you should have a bit of munis to spare if that is the case to plant a few mines. The Stalemate, they don't quite one-shot the Stuart. They do 400 damage and the Stuart has 420 health. So quite often I was just planting shoe mines because they're cheaper, easier to afford. But if you've still got a 250 alive with the Panzerjägers, they can typically chase down and kill off the Stuart once they hit the Stalemate. So kind of depends for me If you've still got a 250 alive with the Panzerjägers, sure, plant the tellers. Otherwise, I'd probably just plant the shoe mines since they're so much cheaper. So once your composition is looking a bit like this, you're trying to stall to the Panzer Army command. But on your way there, you may want to go for veteran squad leaders. This does actually buff up the Guastatori, makes them gives them a 10% received accuracy bonus, and I think it also increases their rate of veterancy gain. So it does make them quite a lot more powerful against things like double bar riflemen or brand up infantry sections. If you can squeeze this in terms of manpower before the Panzer Army command, that's nice. And as a side effect, it will buff up your Panzer Grenadiers. So, you know, it's a good one if you've got the manpower to spare. But if you don't, just try and get your Panzer III out as fast as possible. Typically, I was probably trying to get out 2 Panzer IIIs, and then often going for the tungsten core to buff up their penetration a bit. You don't need the emergency repair kits as much with this strategy since you have so many units that can repair your tanks up, so you can save a little bit of manpower there. And then from here, obviously, you can see my population pretty close to the pop cap limit, but you'll probably lose 1 or 2 of these units throughout the course of the game. Then you can try and go for the Cannoni, just for the memes, especially if your opponent's, you know, more dug in with a bunch of team weapons to try and apply a bit more bleed. The Cannoni itself doesn't take up the full 16 pop, it comes with a truck, so you can just suicide the truck if you just want to set it up in your base, set it and forget it. But the truck can also be quite useful for recrewing your decrewed team weapons and reinforcing on the front lines as well. Talking the tactics with this build order, typically I was trying to plant a lot of mines down since I do have a lot of engineers, and then trying to bait the enemy's tanks into them, so then my Panzer IIIs could swoop in and finish off whatever hit the mine. And you know, a lot of players are quite slack with minesweeping at this stage of the game. I've often only got 1 engineer, at least until the Easy 8 colonists start coming through, and so they are quite susceptible to mines in the earlier stages. And you know, the Panzer IIIs, especially if they don't have the tungsten core ammo, they do struggle a little bit on penetration. So if the enemy unit gets an engine crit, then you can circle around, get to their side or rear armor and really punish them, knock them out that way. When it comes to using the Guastatori, don't forget they have the smoke grenade. So if you're up against riflemen, quite often I'd suggest just popping these smokes out, running into them, especially if you're in a 2-on-1, or if they're trying to pour it on them, and then just doing like attack rounds wherever you think they are. And they'll kind of be forced to try and throw a grenade at you if they want to win. And say you're coming up against a squad of riflemen, typically you'll do this. Attack, wait for your flames to burst, run forwards a bit, wait for your flames to come off cooldown, so you kind of close the distance staggered, even though the flamethrower like thing where it doesn't exist anymore, where you can rapidly fire your flamers off. You know, this way it allows you to just continuously close the gap, get in better range for the SMGs, while still allowing the flamethrowers to do maximum damage. So you run forwards a little bit, attack, run forwards a little bit more, attack, and just keep rinsing and repeating that. So it's the best way to deal with the enemy's troops. So overall, this build order, mixed results. I think it's like pretty fair build. But at the moment in Company of Heroes 3, you need to be doing something that's mega broken if you want to win. You know, you need to be doing a big tech skip, skipping like, you know, 100 fuel, 350 manpower-ish worth of tech, going for calling units, getting an advantage that way, having some like battle group ability that's pretty much broken in its performance for Afrika Korps, like in the Armored Support battle group, having the penetration bonus and the vehicle recon, the loiter planes that are still broken. Use something like that. If you're not doing like tech skips or having some mega broken abilities, you can't really compete against somebody who's a similar skill level to you. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is with the way that they've balanced these battle groups and gone back to the no tech call-ins. You need to be doing something broken or skipping tech, otherwise you can't really compete, sadly. But yeah, this strategy, I still found it a lot of fun. There's a lot of challenging little decisions about when you need to go into more anti-tank or more anti-infantry, when you can afford to go for your tech skips, you can afford to squeeze in the veteran squad leaders, what to be spending your munitions on. Do you want flamers on both your Guastatori, or should you be spending it on mines? You make those decisions, and if they come off, you feel like a hero. And if you can beat somebody who's playing a meta strategy, oof, what a feeling. So that's my Guastatori build order. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, absolutely slammed by the Stewart. Just completely cooked.
Capture duties. Ready on your word. It's as good as ours.
It's just, no, it's not to do with that. I think I was doing fine in all the engagements. It's just, you know, when you're allowed to go for 2 Stuarts into
Orders.
0 tick Crusaders, it's just, like, how am I supposed to keep up with that?
You have problems. Captured. Shall we fortify? You can rely upon us.
When he's skipping like 300 manpower at 100 fuel of tick.
Ready on your word.
Panzergrenadiers have assembled.
As ordered.
It's what allows him to go for 2 Stuarts, because he doesn't have to worry about tick. And then, yeah, obviously with the Crusader having double rate of fire for this patch.
Panzer pioneers have taken the location.
Make it quick.
Hard to tell what's Giga lag and what's not. It's just my everyday experience playing Company of Heroes, you know?
Move up, Panzer pioneers. Capture duties. Ready on your word.
But yeah, you guys are right. Without a manpower point on this map, it's an absolute struggle for DAC.
This is territory secured.
You saw I had enough there. At the end there, I had just about enough to tick, and I had enough fuel to go for both the tick and a Panzer III, like straight away. But I just didn't have the manpower. And obviously I went for double Guastatori. But I don't think I gave them the 6-man.
Haste, pioneers! Stand fast! Stand fast! Don't fall behind!
Willing and able.
You have problems, we have our... Get moving! Quick march!
Foxes need move. Wait.
Orders. Main mines waiting!
Grab them.
Get moving!
Say the word.
Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Yeah, I can plant this. How much left does he have? 220, you want to kill them anyway.
Victory point under enemy control.
Bit late getting my tick down.
Follow! Neutralize that location!
Something for securing
Proximity alarm near our victory point.
Get some damage on it here.
Retreat!
Not quite enough to die to a line still.
We're heading out.
What did mine?
Kriegsmarine is
I
looking
do
like
200,
Enemy
right?
has taken a victory point.
What do you need? Pulling out of combat!
Could have had my machine gun out a lot earlier than this.
Pulled up and moving. Let's go find some trouble.
A victory point is being taken from us.
Make it quick! Boys, we have movement orders!
Go for early healing here.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
Maschinengewehr crew, load up. We're moving into a
Order pushing forward. On alert.
Orders incoming. On me. Quick. Lower your Panzergrenadiers are fully replenished.
The Kriegsmarine is looking like a sweet deal now, huh?
Weapon crew.
What? I thought I'd just right-click attack them.
Let's get moving.
Taking full arms fire!
Territory overrun.
Ready for orders. We have a heading. Men, you need us.
Utility truck has arrived.
Enemy fire! On the field.
Come on!
Ready.
Come on, grab your gear!
A capture point is being taken from us.
Remember your call. Pioneer are receiving you! Panzer pioneers, stand ready!
All victory points are under enemy control. We must
Better than
act!
the Australians out there. Commander! Those resources must be ours. Hold, pioneers!
The Fox is fucked. Do it! Prepare for counterattacks on the line.
Territory lost!
With haste!
Orders? We're on it.
Accommodation!
Territory lost!
Painful
What do you need?
stage of the strategy.
Taking that location from the enemy.
Focus on that target!
We can't stay here! Leave to fight
Give me quite enough firepower to win that.
Panzer pioneers standing by. Unspooling wire. Gloves off.
We have vehicles available in reserve. Panzerjäger, anti-vehicle infantry, available.
Right there!
Our capture point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Give us order!
Now then, out of the way! Fall back!
Italian Guastatori are available to deploy.
Where is this? Back in
The enemy have claimed our sector.
Taking enemy territory.
What? They didn't fucking shoot! I heard them shoot and they didn't shoot. Oh my god. I feel like I just got giga scammed.
Points, Commandant.
Oh what?
Doing it, aren't we? Commandant, got your tools? Then we're going. Attack! Destroy them!
Proximity alarm near our capture point.
Guastatori, move! Heads down! Confirm! Kill!
Move! Pick up the speed! Panzer Grenadiers await orders!
We
I
have
think he's going for the same
infantry available in
strategy
reserve, Commandant.
that we saw last time.
Panzer Grenadiers, close the distance!
I dare you!
Ordnance received!
Don't fall behind!
Engineer marching!
We have been cut off. Re-establish a connection.
Frontier aloft!
What did we get there?
You're not reserves! Get marching now!
Loud and clear, Commandant! Panzer Grenadiers taking enemy territory! With haste!
No
Territory
stop.
lost.
Commandant, raising the point. Maschinengewehr, enemy territory ahead. Clear the obstacles. Move!
Move ATV! Get those legs!
300 points remaining. Say again. 300 points remaining.
Mira! Go!
Panzer pioneers! Secure that location at all! Retreat! Panzer, you keep pace with me! Warrior wing!
We hear you!
We were already veterans!
Guastator pushing through the line!
We found the front line!
Move ATV! Get those legs going!
Italian engineers are eager for orders, Commandant.
Retreat!
Frontier
Retreat!
aloft! Grenade! Move!
Yours this way.
Anyone can do it!
What do you need?
What are you guys doing? Why are they running around like idiots? Oh,
Retreat! Back to base!
so close.
Have dirty work!
You have problems, we have on. Fieldcraft kit is on its way. Grab your gear. Taking that location from the enemy.
Welcome to the front.
Hold up and moving.
Too bad though, not too bad. Killing
Make it quick.
the camouflage bonus I think helped me out.
We're losing grasp of the victory point.
Really drop that in.
Ready on your word.
We have infantry available in reserve, Commandant.
Move it! Upgrades are here! Comandante!
Oh, I thought I upgraded them already.
Is on the way.
Maybe I spent some unis on something else.
Ready for orders! Take that territory!
Out of the way! Fall back!
No slack! Get going! Guastatori engaging!
points are available for use.
Guastatori will get ready to clear the line.
What do you need? None can stand in our way!
Panzer Grenadiers standing by.
You have disperse and engage on the fire.
Panzerjäger, awaiting the word.
Orders? It's as good as ours.
You have orders for us.
Listen up! Panzerjäger relocating! My men holding here! This isn't right! Fall back!
You have left the electoral. Pronti alla guerra! Go! Guerrieri Blosi! Run them through! Enemy get on that wall! Go! Guastatori! Moving! Guastatori!
Let's go find some trouble.
Weapon team fully
Taking enemy
Panzerjäger, awaiting the word.
Decent bleed there.
Enemy troopers are pushing the line!
Alright, I think we go for this now.
Starting requisition of light support elements.
He's got
Proximity
LMG
alarm
commandos
near
as well, huh?
victory point.
Make it quick!
Ordini! Guastatori have secured the location. As ordered. Capture and hold that
Minefield completed. Now we wait.
Gloves on. Get that wire laid.
Victory point lost.
You need Genieri.
Enemy territory. Taking enemy territory.
Enemy forces have taken our territory.
Head down, ease up.
Oh, they've hit one already. He must have gone for the infantry support. The support seemed to upgrade on them, right?
Small arms fire. Quickly. Sound the retreat.
Panzerjäger, await. Anything exciting out there?
Standing by! Panzer pioneers, with me! Stay close!
He takes our territory. Cover him. Support is on the way.
The enemy has lowered our victory points to 250.
Man down. Man down. We're losing men here. Your wife. Consolidate. Infanteria nemica. Engage. This isn't our fight. Fall back.
Panzerjäger, awaiting new coordinates.
What do you need?
Follow
Panzer
me.
pioneers have taken the location.
Enemy forces have claimed our sector.
With all our gear. Preparing for us. Working on it.
Loading up in time. Panzerjäger, awaiting the word. That ground.
Ordini.
Coordinates received! Now then! Capture that sector! Make it get moving.
Get over.
Quick march.
Killing that Humber's definitely bought me a lot more breathing room.
Hardline defenses and structures are available for Panzer Pioneers and Guastatori.
Open up, Panzer Grenadiers!
We're losing grasp of a capture point.
Standing by. Taking enemy territory.
You have orders for us.
Pioneers under retreat!
Ready. Willing and hold for a
Quiet
moment.
down. Ground to capture. Moving.
Panzer, move! Pick up waiting for orders!
Territory sectors are isolated. We must reconnect with them.
Panzerjäger, awaiting the word.
Panzerjäger relocating! We'll
The
get
capture point is being taken from us.
it! Closing the distance! Keep it moving! With haste!
Genieri. Get
Ready
in.
for orders.
We have command points that should be used. Territory is now an enemy. We are losing grasp of a victory point.
Hold back, Panzer Grenadiers!
Heads down, Lisa. For follow. Sound the retreat. Go.
We
Squad
have
one.
lost control of a victory point.
The word.
Boys, we are...
Panzerjäger, awaiting the word.
Christoph, grab the spares. We're patrolling.
You have boys.
Scoot, scoot.
You have orders for
Canon.
us.
A victory point is being taken from us.
Machine Gewehr. Watch field promotion. Well earned. Weapon
Ends
crew.
up going pretty well for me.
You need
Proximity alarm near our munitions point.
Hurry up! Hurry up!
Here, go. Territory secured. Guastatori, moving! Guastatori, ready! Muovetevi! Get those legs going!
Couple cheeky flame shots from the top rope.
Supply lines are cut. Territory is isolated.
On your word. Taking enemy territory.
Make it combat patrol.
Commandant,
I'll
hold
take
fast.
the lead. Ready
Eyes
to
open.
cover when we come
We
under
stop.
fire.
Cease move.
Make it quick. You have something for us? Patrolmen, let's get to it.
Enemy infantry closing on
We
us.
need to engage their infantry. Standing by. Enemy infantry. Walk! Heads down, knees up. Muovetevi. Get those legs going.
We're losing grasp of a munitions point.
We're listening.
Panzerjäger, taking location.
We hear you. Engage on sight.
Panzer pioneers
Fight
stand
through
taking
them.
that location from the
Command
enemy.
us!
Okay, Guastatori, they're starting to slap him up a bit.
Engage targets. Fire. Gear up. Go.
Haven't managed to go for the upgrade yet, but here it is. Here's the timing.
Guastatori on them.
Panzerjäger! Wait, no one's asking you.
Guastatori, ready.
Get there.
We hear you. Concentrate fire.
Hold on. You need us?
Okay.
Laying mines here. Press them. Reinforcements.
We need order. Guastatori, ready for us. Point.
Grenadier,
Enemy
ready.
compound. There. Right there. Anyone can do it, but we'll do it better. Move. Fight, you sheets. Fight.
Panzer Grenadiers are fully
Pronti, Guastatori. Conquistate quel punto.
Panzer 3 on station.
Keep going.
retreat. Yes, retreat.
Bolting.
Orders. Laying mines here. Grab them.
Keep us out of their effective range.
Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Enemy Panzer wants the fuel. Give them the fuel. Report all orders. Right.
Three command points are ready. We have a battle group awaiting. Our capture point is being neutralized by the enemy.
What will it be? Move it, Panzerjäger!
Fuel is ready.
We're losing grasp of a victory point.
Shift fire on enemy troopers!
Repair
My
that
backup!
damage.
Reverse!
Victory point under enemy
Oh,
control.
look, vastly superior cover. I'm still getting bodied over here.
Leaving orders!
You have 31.
Our munitions point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Standing by! Retreat! Back to base!
My crew needs
You
orders.
have orders for us.
Panzer Grenadiers standing. Retrieve those supplies.
Quiet down. That's enemy territory, right?
Machine gun in the building. It's doing work.
We've done what we can. Fully bolstered.
Pass me the fuse. Or setting a trap. Claiming territory.
Upgrade that. What do you need? Over. Laying mines here. Grab them.
Territory
We go for another Panzer 3, then we go for the
You have
tungsten.
dirty work. March. We have capture orders. Follow me. Engineering.
We're not expecting trouble.
Cover! Get to cover! Guastatori! Then take your territory! Cover him! We need orders! Get on that point!
What we're moving. Pacho, back in your seat. Panzer 3 looking for trouble.
We hear those stats! Get them!
Come drive or die.
What's controlling this sector?
Watch your head.
Staging anything we
Right,
see.
marching driver.
Pronti alla lotta!
Come on.
Don't have enough support to chase any further than that.
Heads down! Knees up!
Our fuel point is being neutralized.
Maybe if my
by the
Guastatori still had sneers.
You have done march.
We need orders! Laying mine!
territory overrun.
Gear up! Go! Muovetevi! Get those legs going! Engage!
Panzer forward. Panzer confirmed.
What we can
Panzer 3 is awaiting orders.
Marching orders!
We have the upper hand. The enemy has 250 points.
All right, the tungsten's up next, and then maybe we'll try squeezing a wee cannone.
Our forces have the advantage.
How do you guys feel about that?
Maintain momentum.
Let's move.
We're losing grasp of a capture point.
Someone's running.
What do you need? Get moving.
Panzer pioneers
Taking enemy.
right.
Guastatori! Red! Guastatori! Moving!
Driver!
We hear you! Fanteria nemica! Engage!
Back us up!
What do you need?
Guerrieri! Stanza! Muovetevi! Don't stop fighting!
Territory sector out of contact.
Boku! Reopen! This is a dogfight!
Proximity alarm near our munitions point.
Left, driver! Halt!
The victory point is being taken from us.
Panzer 3! I hear you!
What do you need? Laying mines here. Prep them.
Slow! Slow now!
We have lost control of a victory point.
Panzer taking control! Back up! Reverse! Back! Driver!
Okay.
Watch it back! Back! Back us up! Commandant! We hear you! Come back! Back! Back us up!
Guastatori will destroy! Anyone can do it, but we'll do it! It will save it!
We're losing grasp of a munitions point. Acknowledged. Enemy is down to 200 points.
Pioneers!
Medium Panzer is moving! You are free to engage at will!
Laying mines here. Prep them.
Ordini!
Engines
Enemy.
relocating!
The enemy has taken a victory point.
Open fire! Back up! Reverse! Panzer! Reporting! Anyone? Crew! Halt! Panzer 3!
We heavy losses!
Back! Back! Back up! Unit ready!
Pronti alla lotta!
Crew! Pay attention!
Retreat! Salve retreat!
Reporting! Back up! Panzer 3 is eager to move!
Task completed.
Jawohl! Panzer here!
Completemi! Start promoting!
Keep the lights on! Want anyone behind us?
Move! Pick up those feet!
Medium heavy Panzer! Right, moving Panzer first! Don't let them flank!
Sending enemy armor!
Take it Panzer! Back! Otto, you know what to do! Fuel the blow! Slow down! Panzer 3! Back up! Reverse!
Infantry down!
We hear you! Back!
Get out!
Back! Driver! Panzer 3! We hear you! Back! Back! Back us up! Back up! Reverse!
Oh boy, I think it's going to get targeted again.
Back!
Our munitions point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Panzer 3 will get there!
Proximity alarm near our victory point.
MG-34 on standby.
Forces in friendly sectors shall be placed on high alert. Sound the alarm when needed.
Alright, this is what we're going with.
Victory point lost.
Cannone is 400, 420.
Proximity alarm near our fuel point.
Crew is ready!
Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Territory captured. We hold it.
Territory lost. Support company structure is taking enemy fire.
Ready for anything.
Try and bait him, what's he doing?
Relocating! Our driver! Panzer, heavy Panzer! Concentrate crew! Get on it! Reporting! Panzer 3!
That should hold you for now.
Reporting! Panzer 3!
We need order!
what you can!
Weapons here! Fire first! Understood! What do you need? Enemy territory!
Korps is finest here. Securing enemy ground.
Orders, Hunter, prevent both.
Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy!
Fucking Panzer!
We're gonna be right!
Fucking enemy! Good hand!
A fuel point is being taken from us! Enemy forces have captured the victory point!
Move it, Panzerjäger! Heavy Panzer!
Territory sector has been claimed by the enemy!
Get on with it! Enemy Panzer direct!
Carriers!
Enemies! Engage!
Get out of here while we still can! Panzer 3 will get there!
Enemy territory ahead. Brace your securing resources.
Panzer
We are losing grasp of the fuel point!
All guys! On that target! Left, driver! Panzer's prioritizing! Panzer prioritizing vehicles and light lines!
Better than nothing!
An Italian howitzer team is deploying!
Panzer 3 will get there! Panzer 3 is engaged! Move orders!
Quiet down! You're seeing a lot! Combat control! Keep that
Maybe I could have gone there.
We're moving to location.
Load up! We're moving into a combat patrol!
Taking enemy territory. Taking that location from the enemy.
Yes, sir?
Driver, this is our stop. Deploying!
Full arms, fire!
Ocho, fire! Clear the breach! Load up!
Proximity alarm! Near our capture point!
Pass me the fuse! We're setting a trap!
Panzer 3 looking for trouble! Panzer 3 looking for... That's infantry fire! Let's not risk it! Now!
Our territory is in enemy hands!
Driver! Seize!
Good job, we're patient.
105 team receiving you!
Plenty of ground to cover.
Do it! Prepare for contact with the gun! Driver!
Fix what you can.
Panzer Pioneers, looks like you had a lucky escape.
Orders for us!
Starting repairs.
Pass me the fuse! We're setting in Guastatori in the dead.
Maschinengewehr, that territory will be ours!
We'll get it fixed. Right, boys?
Guastatori attack! Avanti Italia!
105 team receiving Decker private!
The enemy has only 100 points remaining! The advantage is ours!
Go! Fermi! Aspettate! Playing Mike!
What do you need? Repairs needed. Grab your arm
Panzer
welder.
3 is eager to move!
We are losing grasp of the victory point!
On alert!
Need that!
The munitions point is being taken from us!
Medium Panzer is ready!
Comandante control! Keep
Make
that
it
thing
taking
pointed
that
downwind!
location
Medium
from the enemy.
Panzer is moving!
Victory point lost!
3 will get there!
We're losing ground! Get out of here!
Report everything! Silent!
Order, put that feet! Enemy capture point!
Control!
Down!
Slow now!
Get the man in order! Patrolling!
Enemy forces have fallen to 50 points!
Panzer! Get down!
Leave him! He's dead!
We're standing on the track!
No communication from our Panzer 3!
Fucking stun ability is pretty broken, isn't it?
Enemy forces have captured the victory point!
You need Genius? Let me guess. It's somewhere loud.
Proximity alarm near our victory point!
Here, go! Move! Close in! Run them through!
They're getting faster retreat.
Victory point under enemy control!
In the shed now! Let me clear, Commandant!
Commandant!
We do not hold any victory points! How could this happen?
Artillery needs order! Going down the line! Hunting for Guastatori! Red, no!
We're losing grasp of a munitions point!
Head down! Hold here! Hero! Take that territory! Cover him! Away,
Proximity alarm near our capture point!
Guastatori! Moving! Anyone can do it, but we'll do it better!
105 team receiving you.
Maschinengewehr crew.
Territory sector lost!
Guastatori, close back! Get close! Small arms fire! Guastatori up target! This is a dogfight!
We have vehicles available in reserve.
Panzer Pioneer standing by.
We have to go! Move!
Hold back, Panzer Grenadiers! Taking that location from the enemy.
The victory point is being taken from us!
Capturing point. Weapon crew here. And eyes up! Weapons loaded! Let's go!
for us! Quiet down! Eyes open! We have control over
The enemy has taken a victory point.
Pronti alla Guastatori! Conquistate
Our forces are down to 200 points.
This panzer rolling.
Retreat!
Genieri receiving enemy fire! Take that territory! Cover him!
Panzer is moving.
The capture point is being taken from us.
Your something securing enemy ground! On standby. I'll take the gun. You help him.
A victory point is being taken from us.
Yeah, kill him, right?
Eye on the approach.
We need ordini
We're
confermati!
moving. Ocho, back in your seat. We have a heading.
We have lost control over victory point.
You think that was high velocity? Basta! Holding here! Guastatori! Move!
Reporting.
Pronti alla lotta! Go! Move! Enemy infantry! We are engaged! We know! Get out of here!
Fuel is ready. Report on your line.
Guastatori!
Panzer taking in. They're placed. Panzer Gleich, we hear you.
Ease up! We need
Panzer 3 has been struck.
go!
It's a good strat. Sprint into the stun.
Get those!
MG-34 on standby. Christoph, grab the gun. We're moving to capture.
Proximity alarm near our victory point. Only 25 points remain for our enemy.
Fire on the Go! Under rifle fire! We hear you!
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
Focus! Enemy infantry! Commandant! Secure that location! Fire!
Panzer 3 is awaiting orders. Only 10 points remain. Enemy
Oops.
forces are
Misclick.
collapsing.
That's enemy territory, right?
Medium Panzer is ready, driver.
Victory for
GG.
our forces.
Stuka now, mate. You can't go for a Canone and a Stuka. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty good strategy, right? The flare that gives sprint everything, plus the stun. That stun's pretty broken on the foot guards.